We are following some breaking news out of Lagos, Nigeria. A 21-story building has collapsed in a densely populated city. There's no word yet on any injuries or deaths. We are also waiting to hear if anyone is trapped beneath the rubble. The building was under construction when it collapsed. Stephanie Masari is at the scene and joins us now live.
What we're finding is that around 1:50 this afternoon, this building behind me, you can see the rubble right here behind me. This building, which is a 21-story luxury apartments, part of two towers, which you can also see behind me, collapsed this afternoon. And we're now 5 p.m. and rescue efforts are just beginning. We noticed that some of the workers were being carried out of this of the rubble, and we talked to some people who were pretty angry that they had to wait so long for rescue efforts to begin, and some passers-by actually just stopped on their way home, on their way to other places, and started helping with rescue efforts. I spoke to one man who said, "These people are my brothers and sisters. I have to stop. I'm a Nigerian. I have to stop and help." But really, there is anger here that the rescue efforts took so long to commence.
And Stephanie, you said there's a luxury apartment building. Was this a building that was undergoing a renovation, or was this a building that was built from scratch, a new building?
So just to set some context, this is a relatively affluent part of Lagos, district Ikoyi, and many constructions going on right now of luxury apartments, and this was one of many of those. We spoke to someone earlier who knows the developer, who says this building has been ongoing for 2 years, and you know, the developer, we're told, was here earlier visiting this site with his prospective buyers and his security team. So we don't know what the state of him is, you know, if he's still trapped under rubble with others. But it was empty. This building was empty, not occupied, but hundreds of construction workers, hundreds of people are working on this site.
Okay, first and foremost, I want to give praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Waha, Rakak, Dash. Double honors and blessings to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Okay. This story I just showed in Lagos, Nigeria, is about this building that obviously collapsed, and they say that they fear that people are trapped inside of it. But when I read this story, the first precept that came to mind is Deuteronomy, and I'm gonna get it real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 32, right, and verse 39. Because I'm gonna just get right to the point. This was judgment. This was judgment from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? Because we're in those times, we're in those last days where Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is, as he said in 2nd Ezra, he's not gonna hold his tongue anymore. You know, his judgment is gonna continue to be issued out, and he says he's gonna start at his house with the nation of Israel, right? So this is the precept that came to mind when I read this story, Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 39, because you see, people think when they read stories like this about buildings collapsing and things like that. Salakia for 1 second. Close my door. Yeah, people think when they see stuff like that, buildings collapsing, car crashes, and things of that nature, they think it's an accident. But it's no accident. It's Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai doing that. Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 24 says he controls the goings of man, his steps. But again, I'm going to get back to this precept, because as I said, when I read that story, I thought about this precept here. Deuteronomy 32 verse 39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power and there is no power, no God with me. I kill. See that? Yahweh Bashim Yahshai says, I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. See? So when this building fell, get back to the story. When this building fell, this was the work of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. Right? This was his work. This was his doing. Okay, I'll read it again. Oh, here it is. Multi-story building collapses in Lagos, Nigeria. This is the work of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. Okay, how do we know? Because he said so. Right here, Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God, there is no power with me. There's no power with Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. He doesn't have to ask anybody, can I do this or can I do that? Like you have some of these dumbass people out here in the world, these ignorant heathen. They say there's a woman God, there's a mother God. Motherfucker's stupid, man. He says there is no God with me. Okay? There is no power with me. I kill. He says he kills. And I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Okay, another precept to go along with that is the book of Ecclesiasticus. Okay, or the book of Sirach, chapter 39, starting at verse 28, where he says, there be spirits, right, created for vengeance. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Who made these spirits that are created for vengeance? Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. And here's an example of what these spirits do. These spirits that are created for vengeance. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. See, there's spirits on the left-hand side and there's spirits on the right-hand side, but they all answer to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Teeth of wild beasts, scorpions, serpents, and the sword, which is the modern-day gun, punishing the wicked to destruction. You see? It says they shall rejoice in his commandment. So when he commands them to do something, they rejoice in it. And they shall be ready upon earth. See? Where are these spirits upon earth? When need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. They shall not disobey him. Okay? So again, going back to the story in Nigeria, multi-story building collapses in Lagos, Nigeria. This was no accident. You know, this was no malfunction or whatever. You know, for the building not being built right or correctly. No, this was judgment from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And those of us who believe in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, who trust in him, okay, we believe his word, and that's what his word says. Okay? Again, I've started at Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with me. And I have to say too, these Nigerians, they're Israelites. These are Israelites. That's another reason why how we know it's judgment. You know, and multi-story building collapses in Lagos, Nigeria. That's judgment from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. You know? And I found this story on CNN. Okay? And again, judgment from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Yeah, when Yahweh Bashim Yahushai makes that choice to deliver this judgment to his people, you can't stop that. That's it, it's a wrap. He says, for I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. Okay? He says, if verse 41, if I whet my glittering sword, and mine hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies, and will reward them that hate me. See, when you're not keeping the law, when you're not doing your best to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Hashai, you are his enemy. You're saying that you hate him. Like yesterday, we was at camp, so-called Halloween holiday. All these people out here who are wearing costumes and all that dumb shit. Okay, they're enemies of Yahweh Shem Hashai. They're outwardly showing by wearing costumes that they hate Yahweh Shem Hashai. They hate his laws, statutes, and commandments. So if you hate his laws and his statutes and his commandments, then you hate him. Okay? And when you show that you hate him, what's going to happen? You're going to receive this type of judgment. What it speaks of in Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no God, no power with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. Okay? And then Ecclesiasticus chapter 39 and verse 28, right? Where it says, there be spirits that are created for vengeance. Whose vengeance? The vengeance of Yahweh Shem Hashai. You see? So, this, as I said earlier, this is all judgment from Yahweh Shem Hashai. This is not an accident. This is not misfortune, wrong place, wrong time. No, this is all judgment. And I have another precept here, 1 Peter chapter 4. I mentioned earlier, Yahweh Shem Hashai said he's going to start at his own house. Well, let's go to the scriptures and prove it. 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 17. I'm going to read that. It says, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. Israelites, Israel. And if it first begin at us, what shall be the end? What shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? So you see, during these last days, judgment is going to begin at the house of Yahweh Shem Hashai, which is the Israel, 12 tribes of Israel. You know, because the Most High is only dealing with Israel. His judgments, his laws, and his statutes and his commandments is only for Israel. How do we know that? Well, let's go back to the scriptures. Go back to his word. Because everything we need to know about Yahweh Shem Hashai is in his word. I'm going to go to the book of Psalms. This is one of many precepts that show that Yahweh Shem Hashai is only dealing with Israel. This is Psalm 147. Verse 19, it says, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments. See, his statutes and his judgments. This would happen in Nigeria. This was a judgment unto Israel. You see, it says, he, Yahweh Shem Hashai, has not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh Shem Hashai. Okay? So there you go. He is only dealing with Yahweh Shem Hashai. Okay? His laws, his statutes, and commandments are only for Israel. You see? Now there might be some heathens that died also. You know, you call it collateral damage. Okay? But the Most High, as it says here, Psalm 147, verse 19 and 20, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He has not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, that's what this was, judgment, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. Now I have another precept here that shows how the Most High feels about the other nations. See? Because we know he only He only showed his word unto Jacob and his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Well, how does he feel about the other nations? Well, let's go to the book of Isaiah. The book of Isaiah, chapter 40, and verse 15. He says, behold, the nations, these other nations that are outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, these nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as the small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. So you see, the Most High look at these other nations as a drop in the bucket. Okay, and I have another precept here that shows how Yahweh Shimei Shai feels about these other nations. Okay, 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 56. 2nd Ezra chapter 6. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 56. See, we know per Psalm 147, 19 and 20, that he only gives his laws, statutes, and commandments to Israel. Well, how does he feel about the other nations? Well, here's what he says right here. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, these are the people outside the nation of Israel, thou hast said that they are nothing. See, this is how the Most High feel about them gooks, all these other nations. You name them, if they're outside the 12 tribes of Israel, this is how he feels about them. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, which the root word for spittle is spit, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. Okay, so this is how the Most High feels about these other nations. They are nothing. He only deals, his statutes and his judgments are only for Jacob, only for Israel. And that's per Psalm 147 verse 19 and 20. Okay, and again, this lesson was based on, I read, multi-story building collapses in Lagos, Nigeria, on CNN.com. Says people are feared to be trapped in the ruins of a 22-story building, and these Nigerians are Israelites. Okay, and this is judgment. This is judgment from Yahweh Shimei Shai. Okay, so that's pretty much all I got. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying in the spirit of Yahweh Shimei Shai. On to the next one. Shalom. Lord willing.